Welcome back to another video. So I said, I think in another video, a while back, whatever, that today we are going to be getting on the motor for the Blazer. So let's go ahead and start Googling. So we are going to be JDM of Virginia. JDM motors, let's see, which one shall we choose? I think we'll just go right down the list. We'll start at the top, which is JDM Engine of Virginia. Might give you a little bit of a clue. All right, let's call them. I have no idea what we're gonna get, so we're just gonna start somewhere.
JDM?
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay. So I was on the phone for quite a while. So I called quite a few different JDM engine distributors. 2 in Virginia and 1 in New Jersey. I am getting a 1JZ. We are going to put a 1J, VVTi, all that stuff in the Blazer. That is the goal. That's what I'm looking for. Price is a little bit more than what I was expecting, because what I've looked at online and what's happening, and they say their motors are going up in price, this and that. So it's going to cost a little bit more than what I expected, like $1,000 more than what I expected. The bad thing is everything comes with an automatic transmission. If I want a stick shift, it's going to cost $3,000 more for a stick shift, which is, we're not doing that. We can get adapters and put a CD transmission on it, and you can do that for $1,000. And a CD09. CD09 is a really good transmission. Collins makes an adapter for it. We can do this a lot cheaper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call back Friday. So this video will be up Saturday. So we're going to wind up calling back the day before this video goes live. I'm going to call JDM of Virginia, because they said call back on Friday. They should have one. And what I'm going to do is see if I can order it with no or let them keep the transmission, and see if I can get it cheaper with no transmission. So it's a 1J, wire harness, ECU, and all that stuff. Hopefully I can get it for less than $3 grand with no transmission. That's my goal. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't see why they wouldn't do it. The place in New Jersey, it'll be $3 grand for, because theirs is a little bit cheaper, but for them to get it with an automatic transmission and get it shipped to my house, it is going to cost about $3,000. So I'm hoping that I can get one, even if it's just motor and wire harness and ECU. If I can get it for less than $3 grand, I'll be ecstatic on that. So I guess everybody said just keep calling back until they have one in stock, and then I can put a deposit down on it and go pick it up. So basically I have the money because I sold my Jeep, and so it's just now it's going to be checking in with everybody that's local. There's a few local shops that have them or have the ability to get them. So I guess now it's just keep checking in until I can get one, and we'll go from there. And we'll hop in the truck. Well, I got to do an alignment on the truck. Might take somebody else's truck. Whatever. But we will be getting a 1J real soonly. Hopefully this month I will have a 1J in my garage. Alright, well, let's go out now, and I want to make sure, I'm pretty sure that it's going to fit. I know, we're going to do it, not even 100% sure if it fits. I think it does fit, so let's go ahead and go outside. I know the measurement, I have it saved on my phone, the measurement from the bell housing where it bolts up on the back of the transmission to the front dampener, and that's the farthest back and the farthest front. So let's go ahead, head out, measure the truck, and see how much room I have to fit this motor in that truck. Okay, it's the next day. I was gonna come out and do this yesterday, but I decided I needed to cut the grass because it is supposed to rain. I mean, it's raining off and on today, and it's gonna rain off and on for the next few days. And I mean, my grass is long, and I mean, it still looks like crap. But whatever, we'll measure for the 1J here in a little while. And anybody that's like watching this video and thinks I'm joking, I'm 100% not. This is 100% serious. Now, while I was cutting the grass yesterday, it just kind of dawned on me. Other people, other YouTubers, use JDM of California. And I was sitting there and, where's the freaking thing at? While I was cutting grass yesterday, and I was just like, why haven't I looked up there? So I went ahead and after I cut the grass yesterday, hopped on JDM of California, and guess what? They had one in stock. So I went ahead and placed the order. So I'm waiting on a confirmation from JDM of California to say when it's shipping, all that kind of stuff. Now, let's see if I can get this to show. So here is my confirmation from paying for it. JDM of Cal. Thank you for your payment. JDM of California. Marketplace. There's me. JDM Toyota 1J VVTi right there. So I have already paid for it. Now here's the thing, is I ordered it from JDM of California, and I have it being delivered for cheaper than what I can get anything in Virginia for. And this is from California all the way across the country. All I gotta do is wait for it. So it is a 1J VVTi, GTE, you know, turbo, all that kind of stuff. Does come with a transmission. It is an auto transmission. We're just using that for now to mock up on, you know, because the auto transmission has the bell housing, and then it'll be easier to figure out how I need to place the motor in there with the bell housing towards the firewall. Then we are going to take that transmission off. We're going to sell it. Whatever I get for it, I get for it. And we are going to wind up putting in a CD09 out of a 350Z. We'll wind up getting an adapter for it, because we can do a CD09 adapter, everything like that, for about $1,000. A Supra transmission or a JZX 100 transmission, anything of that sort, it's going to cost close to $3,000, maybe a little bit more. For a stick shift transmission, well, I can do one for $1,000, maybe a little bit more. So, needless to say, I have the first half basically on the way. JDM has sent me an email that's saying, hey, thanks for buying the motor. Now I'm just waiting on confirmation email, tracking, all that kind of stuff of when it's going to be shipped and delivered. I mean, it's only been one day. I mean, I ordered it last night, so not expecting a miracle. But I did say at the beginning of this video, I'm going to have a 1J this month. And, well, at the rate it's going, I've already paid for one. Now I just gotta wait for it to get here. All right, now, a 1J is roughly 30 inches long. Now, once we take this out, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna, here in a little while, not in this video, but once I get the motor, because we're gonna have to move this out of the way, all that kind of stuff. So I wanna have this still movable. But we're basically gonna strip the whole front of this off. So hood, fenders, bumper, grill, the radiator support. I mean, basically everything's going to come off the front of this. And then we are going to take as much out of this as possible. We're going to keep the fan box right here because that's for the heat. This is for the air conditioner. That's coming out. We're going to strip as much of this out as possible. Now, like I said, motor is about 30 inches long. I know it's going to sit down in a little bit. So we're going to come off the firewall a little bit. Well, let's see here. To here it's 34, so let's move to 32. So that way we come off the firewall about 2 inches. Now, 30 inches stops right there. Well, that's basically flush with the radiator, which is okay because I am planning on, let me get the tape measure close. What I'm going to do is, of course, we're not going to run this radiator, even though it is a good size and it sucks because this is brand new, is I'm going to take the radiator from here and we are going to recess it in and under this panel right here. And then we're going to get rid of the hood latch and the air conditioning condenser and all that kind of stuff, and we'll be able to put the turbo intercooler into this section right here. And I mean, let's see how wide this is. I mean, we're talking, you know, 3 or so inches wide. And just here, if I trim up, you know, these plastic pieces, we'll be able to get probably at least a 4-inch radiator or intercooler in there. So we have plenty of room. I'm not stressed. Now it's just get it and get it in this thing. Now, we are going to run it bone stock for a while because, well, falling on a budget, I guess you could say. I'm not made of money, so it's basically, you know, that took a lot of my money up because it did cost a little bit more than what I was expecting, but that's okay. Only thing is now that I really need to get it to run, I mean, it does come with an ECU, but it's got an electronic throttle body, and to switch it to a manual throttle body, it's easy. That's nothing major. And this is, you know, like this is a manual. It's got the cable driven throttle, so it's already got a cable ran through it, which goes to right here. So hooking this up to the 1J throttle body, which should be right here, that'll be easy. But again, the 1J is an electronic throttle body. Well, I don't have the electronic pedal to go with it. So as soon as you switch it over to a, you know, like drive-by cable instead of a drive-by wire, the ECU that comes with the motor is just dead. It won't work. So needless to say, I'm going to have to get an aftermarket ECU, like an ECU Masters Black, one of those. That's going to be the first big purchase. Sucks because they cost around $1,000. But hey, I'm doing this. I'm going to do it. And if I'm correct, which I think I am, this will be the very first JZ swapped Blazer. There are some like 2J swapped S10 pickup trucks, but I do not think that there is a JZ swapped Blazer. So this should be the very first JZ swapped Blazer. Let's see. If anybody knows of another Blazer, post it in the comments. Let me know. I want to hook up with the guy. I want to talk to him if there is somebody else that did this, because I have questions. But if not, we're just going to be winging it and make it work. So again, I have bought the motor, just waiting for it to get here for this. And then as soon as it does, we're going to flip this thing around and start tearing into it. And in the meantime, we will be still building the motor for that. Only bad side about buying this, since it costs more, is, I know this video is a lot of talking, sorry. It's gonna be raining a lot. ain't got much to do. I was gonna go out and ride my bike on a track, but with all this rain, everything's just nasty and muddy right now. So it's just this video. It is what it is. It's all good. The cam that I was gonna buy for that motor, well, I had to use that money to help pay for this motor, and the tires that I was gonna buy for these rims, had to use that money to pay for this motor. So, because it was, like I said, this cost more than what I thought, which tires and camshaft out the door. That's okay. I work a lot of overtime and I'll have it all within, you know, a couple weeks. Not a big deal. So I hope everybody likes this build and shares this build, because we are going to be the very first JZ swap Blazer out there, and it's gonna be badass. That's all I gotta say. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you in the next one.